Hello everybody and welcome to the tier list we're gonna make about the pieces of the side quests, not of our main cast. So we're not gonna ranking our fantasy high, no like Crown of Candy. I already did that. If you wanna see it, go to that video. You will find it on my channel or we'll have linked it in the description, and yeah, you can see how your favorites are fared there basically. And we're gonna talk about the side quest characters, so we're speaking like Tiny Heist or the Seven, Court of Flower and Fae or Fae and Flowers. You know what I mean. Yeah. And yeah, we have our system here. It's just all of this is just for fun, so keep that in mind, please. It was at this last video the same. Our top tier is Blimey. Then the second one is I Thought I Was Invisible. Then we have Chef Manhattan. Then we have the Honoring of You Know What. And then, of course, we have the Red Grinders at our lowest tier. I just wanted to make this very clear. These how do I say it? Like the segments and everything, you can tell, are not that serious. And all of this is also not that serious. I'm just here to have fun and to talk about these characters. I will never ever say, or the thing is, I will never be talking down to an actor or like somebody who was part of Dimension 20, you know. There are characters that I like better, and maybe some characters will land here in the lowest tier, but this is not an attack on the person themselves. I will just talk about how like I enjoyed it, and I mostly will talk about of a standpoint the character, you know, like I will truly more analyzing or try to more analyze or look at the character and not at the person who plays the character, if that makes sense. Because I mean, it is a marriage of those two. You create a character, then of course you as a person influence how you play the character. That's true, but I don't feel like they're deserving of any kind of hate, because everybody who is on the show, in my opinion, is doing a good job, and I love all the seasons. You saw I have also a ranking video that you can go and watch, where I rank all the different seasons, and even though there are seasons who come low, doesn't mean I dislike the seasons. Dimension 20 is my favorite show, and yeah, I feel like I've made this, hopefully it's clear, and now we can jump into it. Okay, the first one that we have is Escaper from the Blood Keep, which I always forgot is like, I feel like the second thing they shoot at Dimension 20. Oh, and by the way, I don't remember a lot of the names. I do remember the characters and what they did, and I have seen all the seasons like twice, maybe even 3 times some seasons, the ones that I really like. But I'm bad with names and I don't remember them, so don't come at me for that. But I do remember like the character traits and what they do in the story, like those things I have in mind, but not the names. Like first off, we have our very loyal and very like probably sexual frustrated what's it called? He's kind of warlock, definitely, but I don't know what their title is again. But he was a lot of fun. I would put him in, but still, I feel like I will put him in the middle field right here in Chef Manhattan. I need maybe some other characters, and he could change. Like I could see him jump one up, but at the moment, I will put him there. I liked him a lot. I enjoyed him a lot. He's bickering with the next character, like the actual wife of the demon lord, of the dark lord, and but I'm gonna put like those two are like a pair to me. Like their back and forth were so funny, and her being pregnant and his reaction to that. And then, of course, the reaction to the child itself. I like that. I like that dynamic. Now, this next wet being, I love her. She's so great. She goes for me into Blimey. She wants to see the future, or she is also like she's a husband and wants him, but left him, but she likes the attention that he gets from him. Like it is a whole mess going on with her, and I just love it. I feel like she wasn't she like killing the husband? Like they saved it and everything, and then at one point she was just like, eh, and it was so easy for her to like, we don't need you anymore, or like you give me more trouble than anything. I love her and her bone. Yeah, that's great. Then we have, ooh, I think her name was Lilith, if I remember correctly. I can remember some of the names, but I did like her story. I liked her million and millions of children that she has. Um, but I don't really remember what her overarching thing was. I don't even know if she had one, but nevertheless, I truly, truly like her. Okay, I changed something. I hope you should be able to see my cursor right now. What I wanted to say is like those two, um, our two ladies up here, I feel to them similar as I feel to them others two down below, because I feel like they have a great chemistry and a back and forth of some sort. Now, the next two are kind of for me. I'm gonna be honest, the one with the animals, I didn't really enjoy him. Like he, I mean, of course, the idea is like, oh yeah, loving animals, and then they're like horrible, horrible creatures. But that joke kind of didn't land for me, and there was legit in the whole series like a point where it was kind of like he was, oh yeah, I'm just gonna leave. Like this whole plan has, well, basically gone to dust, and I'm just gonna go, And I didn't really like that. It made kind of sense for the character, but the thing then later on was also he stayed, and there was never a truly moment spoken about why does he stay. There's a legit a moment where it's like, I'm going, and then something happens, and then he's like, okay, I'm staying. Like, it's not even like that he says out loud, oh no, I stay. It's just like, oh no, he said he's going to leave, and then he didn't leave. And it didn't feel like, what was that? Yeah, no, he is, ooh, but is he down here? I am not sure. Yeah, I'm gonna put him in the rec grinders. This feels right. Again, I needed maybe some more characters in here to feel it out. It could be that I change things up later on, but yeah. Now we have feel like Marcus. I'm not sure, but he was really fun, like the pirate kind of guy who wanted to get his family, his brother in particular, that, and he had the eagle. That's right. The whole interactions with those eagles, they were funny. They were funny. Okay, I'm gonna give it also an okay, like in the midfield here. Okay, now we come to Tiny Heist. I've said it before. Tiny Heist is one of my, well, less favorite seasons. Or again, I like to watch them, but this one I didn't had troubles to connecting, especially because of the setting. I just don't really am a big fan of the setting, of the Toy Story setting, basically. Now the characters. I'm gonna be honest. The car for me is full on here in Honored Car. He's not bad, but he's just not doing anything for me. He's truly like the hero that you would expect him to be. He's truly like he's the driving force. However, his reasonings to me, maybe I have forgotten something, but it was not something that really pulled me in. Like his determination was great, but his actual reasonings were kind of for me. Now we come probably to the best character in this whole in this season. I mean, but I have forgotten what his name is. It Rick? I'm not sure, but he can basically change his appearance, or does change his appearance time and time again in the craziest outfits. And I just liked him. He's so dark in a way in this jolly land, and I just love the contrast that it gives. And he, for me, was like by far the funniest character in there. And in general, he's one of the funniest characters that has is in Dimension 20's history, I would say. Now, the next one or the next two, I'm gonna pull her up here. I feel like he was the banana kid, right? And the other girl was the one with the bombs, I think. Again, I'm gonna put them both at the same thing here in Honor the Cog. Like, this is just for me not really. I don't fully remember what their goal was. Like, I feel like I do not fully remember what was going on with those two. And so yeah, I just put them there. They're not bad characters. Like it's not like that I have anything that I could point to and be like, oh yeah, this moment or that moment. It's just truly, I forgot about them. Like, those are the two that I'm not also not connecting, but in a different level. Now, the Beetle character, I have to be honest, I knew at the beginning of this, I said I'm gonna focus on the characters and not the players, and this is still true, but with this one, I just have to mention, I felt like the player, of course, had like really trouble grasping the rules of the game. However, again, this was at the beginning of Dimension 20, and later on we have like Dungeons and Drag Queens or Titan Takedown, where there are new players who have never played before, and I feel like the crew, I mean now, of Dimension 20, of the Dropout team, kind of got better over time to maybe explaining it to them or like streamlining it more. And I could feel like the guy, I'm sorry, I don't know the name, who played the Beetle character, maybe he needed a little bit more guidance. If you never have played D&D, it is a lot. It is a whole bunch a lot. I have introduced other people into this game, and I'm never mad. You're never angry with them. Like, that's not what happens. And again, it's not like that I'm mad or angry at this character or like the player who played him, but it just kind of was really more so glaring apparent for me personally. Maybe for others as well. I would truly like to hear your thoughts on this one. But it was just kind of like, hey, I feel like he needed. It would have been good if we would have like an extra session prepping him for this whole thing. And I do not remember anything else from this character. I'm gonna be honest. So I'm gonna put him in the lowest tier. But again, this is not attack on the player. I just feel like more the situation, because your first time playing D&D, you are also trying to be entertaining. There is like a whole camera crew there. There's a whole production. You have time limits, time constraints. So I can just see how there can be a lot, and it is a lot. So I hope you all understand what I mean here. It was just unfortunate that this first experience, I felt like that was the other thing. I felt he was becoming a little bit frustrated with the game towards the end, but maybe that also is just a wrong memory of mine. Now, the next one I personally liked. I kind of wish we would have gotten more of her character. So she comes really in Jeff Manhattan for me, because I see potential there. I see actually a lot of potential there. I like the story that she had with she has only like 1 year left to live, and that's why she's here and wants to do this. And but it was kind of like subdued, like really subdued. Normally when I see characters like this, it is kind of like, run, I'm gonna destroy the world, or nothing matters and nothing cares. No, she still cared about other people around her and everything, but she did not really care about herself, you know. And yeah, no, I liked her, and I think it was Jess who played her. Yeah, great work. Okay, next up we have the Pirates of Leviathan. I feel like the first one was like a mercat kind of creature. I'm not sure, but yeah, no, he for me is kind of like also Honor the Cock. Like, I know we will get there. We will get up here. Don't worry. Blimey, and I thought it was invisible will not stay empty. But he was like a good guy, but there was not a lot more to that. I thought, at least. I mean, he was a bad guy that turned into a good guy, or like a bad guy who is not as bad as he seems, you know, who like takes care of like this Kenku family and all that stuff. So he has the heart in the right place, definitely. Now the next one, I really liked his story. I really liked his story. I feel like I'm gonna put him in Jeff Manhattan. His backstory and like this huge log that he carries around and has like the ghost of his crew, his former crews around him. That is like really, I like that aspect a lot. And he was like, I feel like he was the guy who had like this weird moss in his house as well, right? Yeah, no, that was definitely him. Now we have like the Mistress of Storms of the Deep Sea. She is like going for me in, ooh, is it I Thought I Was Invisible or Jeff Ooh, it's difficult. It could be either Jeff Manhattan right now. Because I'm struggling. I remember her connection to the god. She also was kind of flirty at times, but I don't quite remember actually the full-on resolution and actually what fully was her goal. So yeah, maybe that's a reason. Like I'm coming at this like I have seen again, as I said, like at least 2 times every season here. So if I still have trouble to remembering what your deal is, then that's not a good sign. Because I feel like from the character, like I would like to put her up here, but I am somebody who's interested in the stories, like the backstories and like what you want to portray and tell with your character. And if that is something that does not fully come through, then yeah, there are like some points deducted, if you want to say so. Okay, the next one, I'm just gonna say, I did not like this little kid, but I also am not a big fan of little kids, so I'm just like, no, you can stay down there. He had some funny moments, and he wanted to save his brother, so that's all good and well. But it's just kind of like, oh no, he is really playing a kid character, which again, like the actor who portrayed him did a great job, but I just don't like this archetype of character, so that's why he's so low here. however, now the next one, our birdie girl. Don't know the name, but she definitely goes up there for me. She was such a light, and I feel like I have never seen a character like hers. Like it is like really weird how upbeat she is and how she wants adventure. You know, like that's her whole thing. And I like the idea of, was she a cleric? Maybe she was a cleric, but just the idea of like yeah, you want to have adventure. And I like the last scene, one of the last scenes where she looks out at the horizon and like it is kind of clear that the her goddess is basically proud of her and pleased with her, and I like that a lot. Yeah, and she just wants to create a crew, and I like that. And she also reminded me a lot of Luffy in a way, so from One Piece. So maybe that's why she's so high up there. Yeah. And now, of course, the flower of the gold gardens, the main flower. She comes up here in Blimey. She deserves it. I love just her voice. I will not try it. I cannot get that high with my voice, but like her speaking voice and her singing voice, it was just amazing. And by the way, they filmed this over, I don't know if it was Zoom, but basically during the pandemic. So I find it astonishing that she still was able to bring the singing into this, because I thought it would be like really difficult to do online than in the studio with everybody around them. And I kind of wish we would get her back, like this character specifically, but in general, it was just amazing. And yeah, and of course her story as well, with her parents being kind of like difficult, let's put it that way. And her mother is like made out of stars. I remember that, and I just had that image in my head. I liked it. I liked it a lot. And her friend, of course, that she's looking for. Okay, now we come to Mice and Murder. Yeah, I don't even know. Should we do this lightning round? Because I mean, okay, our Sylvester up here, I love Grant's portrayal of like this. Like he really made him a asshole. Like he really was able to make this character a little bit lovable, or like just the right amount. Like it is just asshole enough and loving enough that it's just this great mixture, which is not easy to do. Um, and now, I mean, I'm just gonna come to her. Daisy Dumpster in Blimey. And honestly, normally I don't categorize people in like within the sections, like I'm not gonna say, oh, you're first or second, but Daisy Dumpster is in front of everybody. She is honestly my favorite character in all of Dimension 20 history. I don't know what's going on. I just love her. I want a spin-off series. I want her to have her own book, basically. I want what's it called, an animation with Mice and Murder. I said it before, it's my favorite moment. It's like her literally shitting out the window to save Sylvester. Which this is the craziest thing I've ever heard in any campaign. And like the whole setup for it is great. It is so truly amazing. And there are many other moments in the series where she shines. Like the seance, of course, her interaction with all the rest of the cast and also with Brendan, like she is so, it's just perfection. She's the best. I think the next character is called Baxter, played by Sam Reich. I feel like Baxter also. Yeah, no, I thought I was invisible. I love him. I love his portrayal. I love that he's such a money sack, but also he has, I wouldn't say like a good heart, but he doesn't got like when he can do something nice, he probably will, but he is not going out of the way. Like basically, if something he does helps somebody else, then he's like, oh great, yeah, let's do that as well. But he's not gonna go out of his way to make that nice thing happen. The same goes for our like bodyguard kind of German Doberman. I find it interesting that it is a Doberman and not a German Shepherd, but okay. And it is also a lot of fun. Has the eye on the prize a lot of times, and sometimes he wants to take part also in the seance. So, and yeah, I like him a lot, and I like in this constellation. First time, Ellie, for me, as I saw her playing, she kind of was a little bit more of the grounded character. Not fully, but a little bit more, and I like to see that. Now we come to the two characters where I have kind of like questions marks. Because, okay, Gangly, I know that his name is not Gangly, but Baxter called him that, and that's kind of like what stuck in my mind. And he is like, I like his involvement in the story and his connection with Mrs. Mosley, the old lady. I do like him. I do enjoy him, but he similar to the to whom? Who? Where was? Yeah. The here, Bloodkeep, Escape from the Bloodkeep, was also at one point in the story like, I could just go, can't I? And the truth was, yes, the character could have just left, and of course they didn't do it, but kind of was the same thing, and I just find it always weird. I understand it when you are like really thinking of your character, and it's kind of like, oh yeah, my character doesn't really have a reason to be here right now, and the kind is maybe for on the DM, but it takes me out. This is like one of the things that takes me out of it, honestly, and like of the whole like story that we're trying to tell. But he's a good character overall. Like I'm gonna give him Jeff Manhattan, like the middle of the road. That should be good. Now we come to the one that confuses me the most, and maybe I've talked about this before. I have no single idea what the Wicker has to do in this story. Like, this will sound mean, but you could play all of Mice and Murder, like this whole story, and not having the Wicker in it, and it wouldn't truly change anything. Like all the other characters, like significantly have impact on the story itself, but somehow not him. And to this day, I want to sit down with Brendan and ask him this question: like, what part of the story should have the Wicker like exhilarated, or like what was the idea? Because I know that Brandon probably had something planned. He always plans something for the characters and how are they involved to the overarching story usually, but no, not with the Wicker. With that being said, hella funny character. I think Raphael, the guy who played him, is great. But I'm gonna put him in Chef Manhattan because, like, I actually would like to put the Wicker up here, but honestly, because I don't know what he is doing there. Like, I know what he's doing in the mansion. I know how he got there and why he is there. In the story in that sense, but from a storytelling perspective, it's just kind of like, oh, you could also have been just a background character. And I'm glad you're not, but what's going on? And I know he had like one thing with a statue where he figure out the code, but again, this is just figuring out the code. This is not like somebody else could have done that as well. You know, I hope you get what I mean. Like, let me also know about this in the comments if I'm the crazy one here. Okay, now we come Misfits and Magic. Other people who have seen already some tier lists of mine, especially the one where I made the seasons, ranking different seasons. I personally know Misfits and Magic has a bigger fan base, like that people really like it. It is just kind of not for me. The first season, especially because I have trouble with everything that is Harry Potter related or more so J.K. Rowling related. I just don't really want to engage in this universe anymore. It's too much. I don't like it. I liked it. I used to like it, but I cannot. I just simply cannot. Literally every second I look at something from it, the only thing I can think about is the author's reaction or behavior towards trans people, which is just so ugly, and it literally is constantly on my mind. It's not like something, oh, I forgot about it. No, it is just there. So that is maybe a part of it. And the second season was better, but I also had a little bit of a trouble with the characters, and now we come to them. Let's talk about it. None of them, for me, go in the lowest tier. I don't feel so, right? Yeah, no, but I'm gonna put them all down here. I'm sorry, y'all. Not in the lowest because I don't really have like my main problem with these characters interacting with one another is kind of they are, in my taste, too friendly. And I know this sounds kind of weird, but it is kind of like a story of friendship and supporting one another, and I get that. And there are some good moments in here. Like, I'm not saying like these characters are like, oh, like for example, the when Mr. Kelm is in the fighting ring and his people hype him up, and then he's just like, okay, listen, buddy, you just want to leave the ring, and otherwise I'm gonna kill you and stuff like that. There are like funny moments in there and great interactions, but I just feel like they feel a little less human to me, these characters, because I have really trouble to putting this into words, but it feels like they're all wrapped in safety paper, or what's it called, like the thing that you safety bubbles, you know, that you send with packages and stuff, and they are all handling each other with so much grace and so much they like giving the benefit of the doubt to one another, which of course is great, but to me it just doesn't feel human that we have four characters who behave that way, who are like, no, it's okay, let's talk about this, you know. And I just wanted sometimes to have somebody who basically slaps another character and is like, listen, you're being unreasonable right now, or you make me mad. That the communication between these characters felt to me, or still, even in the second season, just does not feel quite realistic, you know. And it is not that it is bad communication, but I just don't feel like people speak with each other in that way. So I hope that made sense. I didn't talk about them individually. Yeah, but I don't. I mean, Sam is fun. Like she might be the one that I would put higher than the others, maybe. But yeah, I mean, I also like the Tumblr thing, and of course we have like this jock, like this sports guy who wants to look out for his family. I get that, and yeah, Elvin, what's his Elvin? Like Mr. Calm. He has just like a most horrible life, and it is fun, even though it is so horrible that it becomes fun again, like as an a person standing out and looking in, knowing that this is a story. Okay, now we come to the seven. I can already spoil they're gonna be high. Um, I'm sorry I don't remember the name, but yes, you are up here because you are a great leader and don't want to be a leader, but you are a great leader and have to be come to terms with that. And I love her interaction with the siblings a lot. Like her and her siblings is like really, really fun. Now, I have forgotten her name, but she kind of got on my nerves. She really got on my nerves. Not super bad, but she was really like, I was just like, ooh, girl. Towards the end, she allowed emotion, but her whole thing is like being, oh yeah, everything's groovy and peace and love. And basically, her is the same problem that I have with all of the characters of Misfits and Magic, that I just feel like you need sometimes to burst out and not always be the peacekeeper and not always be yeah, just chill. I just don't connect with that kind of character that much. I'm gonna be honest. And but other than that, I did like her. And at the end, I remember distinctly. At the end, there is a moment where she lets loose. Let's say. I mean, our next queen is our horse girly. She's so amazing. Like the obsession with horses, and then on top of that, like her family feud with. I mean, is it a feud? I mean, she has her dad that she has troubles connecting with, and then her mom, but she basically ices her mom. So that is definitely a family feud, I would say. And yeah, it is. She is just amazing. But the thing that I like the most, again, are the horses, and that all these horses come to life, and all the ideas, like. It is just so much fun with these crazy horror stories that she comes up with, or like doesn't even come up with them. She has read them all in the oh god, what was it? The babysitter ponies or something like that. Yeah, yeah, that's great. Now I feel like it's Anastasia. Was that right? She is just iconic. Like Izzy in general is iconic, and this character, like, I love you, I love you. That is, and the emotions that are clearly there, but she's like, I'm not angry, or I'm not sad, and like really being and that is another thing. Like she is the kind of character that is in a friend group, but butts heads with one another, and then also can talk it out. You know, like I love that kind of behavior. Like I love that kind of character that has like edges to them and is like not so clean. I just love that way more, and I love her. She is amazing. Yeah. Now we have Penny Luckstone. I remember her a lot. Um, I mean a lot and remember her name because it is also a lot said in Fantasy High because this is the girl that Riz is looking for. And yeah, I'm gonna put her in Chef Manhattan. She is really a solid character. She has some really great funny moments as well. But her conflict to me was not that deep. She was kind of like, okay, do I go to this super secret school or not? And of course, like everybody would have forgotten about her or she could not have seen them again, which is a big deal. But I don't know, I just didn't feel like I knew that she would not go there. Like with our oh god, she who is our leader basically. Like with her, I was feeling more like okay, I could see you moving on to this new position. But with Penny, I personally didn't see that she's a rogue at all. Like Penny is actually an interesting character that she's a rogue, but I have never seen a rogue like her. You know, it is pretty unique. She's unique. Now we come to Sam Nightingale. I mean, Like if not Lady Dumpster, yeah, Daisy Dumpster, maybe it would be Sam. That would be on my favorite. Sam is a little bit more complicated because Daisy Dumpster gives me the comedy that Sam does not give. Like Sam doesn't give a lot of comedy, but when it comes to emotional heart wrench and like carrying a scene and interacting in with other NPCs and PCs, she's amazing, and I love player the actress who plays her as well. It, it is amazing, like this whole story, and what I love about her is also there is like an underlying trans storyline there, but it is not about that fully, you know. And I'm somebody who is of the opinion, I mean, I cannot speak for the trans community, but at least for the gay community, the gay people, I feel like we have a lot of stories that are about coming out. And I like stories where you have like queer people, but it does not have to be about the coming out. Like, coming out is a big part of it, and I know it can be a narrative tool, and it is still important that we see that. But I'm at the point where I'm just like, okay, can we do something different with these characters? Then every character has a coming out story, and that's basically the whole moment, a big moment. And other than that, the character doesn't have anything else going on. And Sam definitely had a lot of things going on, and I liked it for her, even though there were horrible things. But yeah, she's great. She's really one of the best characters in the whole Dimension 20 universe. Ooh, now Zelda. That's interesting. Zelda. I'm gonna put her. I would like to put her higher, but I cannot. I'm sorry. The problem with Zelda is, of course, that she's played by Brandon, and it is. I mean, not that Brandon can is not good at playing characters. I don't mean that, but there are already six other main characters. So Zelda being the seventh and being played by the DM, she just doesn't get a lot of shine. And I also, in the Fantasy High universe, I said it before, I feel like her and Gorgark is just not something I'm invested in. I'm not. They are not my ship. You know, I don't ship them really. It was cute. It truly is like high school romance kind of thing, but it doesn't feel to me like, oh yeah, Zelda and Gorgak will end up together forever and ever. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Okay, let's come to Shriek Week. I'm gonna be honest, I do not. Shriek Week is a whole kind of jumble mess. I don't feel like it was executed. How do I say that? Like I feel like something was missing, or like it went really off the rails, because the ending of it doesn't really make sense. But it's totally fine because the characters are so freaking funny and so freaking great. Now I don't know if I want to put them all in the same lane. Okay, I have to start here because I know she deserves to be in I thought I was invisible. Her whole thing with like she basically I feel like she's the reason why this all went off the rails is because she killed somebody and wanted some blood. And that was not really planned for, I feel like. And yeah, her dad being the count, yeah, the count, you know who. And it is great. Now the other three, I'm not so sure about. Ooh, they have great moments, like the not growing the hair and how he handles that. It is funny. However, I also have to say I do not quite remember. Okay, we have the ghost girl who her sister is like way more famous than her, so that was her story. What was up with the mummy? I feel like she had just like really strict parents. Yeah, that was going on there. But now, like if I take the story and the character motivation into account, really, I feel like I would have to put them here. But they're so funny. I kind of part of me wants them to be higher up. No, we leave it for now. This feels right again. Because again, I'm not fully remembering all the details of their story, and I'm honestly also don't remember all the what happened, the little moments. I do remember the game where they're like where our vampire lady gives like those plants like little pom-poms and turns them into cheerleaders, even though it was kind of like, okay, I feel like you should be attacking them, but you just use them for your own good, which is hilarious. I love them. Next up we have Coffin Run. I This little demon, Zack really killed it with him. Like, I just love him. I wish I want to see more of this character from Zack. And I feel like we're getting it a little bit with Daisuke in Cloud Red Ho right at this moment. And I'm so happy about this. Like an agent of chaos. Like Zack can really play the agent of chaos well. And like this little gremlin eating up all the papers and also being at the same time really regal, and kind of snobby maybe. He played this well. Just like the deformed head that you could do with him, he's so repulsive, but so great. I now looking at this list, I can truly see that the ones that are a little bit more villainous maybe speak to me in a way. Now, before I will skip one person and we will come to the mad scientist. Yeah, Izzy, of course, doing a great job, and I just love the story that we have going on with him and his family, and then him finding out about the werewolves, and yeah, and especially his. I can really visualize, like there is a spell that is like the flaming sphere or something, and he uses this a lot, and I can but really see it like how he is using that his flamethrower basically. Yeah, for me all around like a really strong character. And I personally I love just the mad scientist trope. I know we all have tropes that we roll our eyes at, and I know that the mad scientist is one of the more used ones, and people are kind of maybe tired of it. I'm not. It is truly my favorite trope in general. I just love the idea of a mad scientist. It's always fun in my eyes. Now, the next two are a little bit problematic because I do not quite remember them. That is a problem. I do know that we have our guy here who wants to, what's it called? Wants to also become a vampire. He wants to become part of the family, and everybody's kind of like, oh yeah, no, but he also had no. I will leave him in Chef Manhattan, but yeah, no, he truly has the interaction with this other little kid, because there is not a second, but there's there's just a kid there who wants also become a vampire, I feel like, and they are like beefing it out those two. That is fun. And lastly, we have the wife, and honestly, I might give her into Honor the Sea, because maybe I should have looked it up, but I didn't want to go through all these characters beforehand and read up on the backstories. But I remember that she's the wife and everything, but I don't remember a whole lot. I feel like she thought that she was something special, but it turned out she wasn't really that special. But other than that, I don't remember her, and I don't fully remember also any scenes completely. Yeah, no, it's let us leave her in there. Yeah. Now we come to a court of Flower and Fae, or Fae and Flower. I always mix those two up. I'm sorry. Okay, now we have the one from the She, who is from the Winter Court, basically, from the Colder Court, from the Death Court of the Fae. He was honestly just fine for me, so I don't have anything bad to say about him, but also not anything super good. He was a doofus in a way, but he also had a heavy childhood. Let's put it that way. Now the next one, I feel kind of the same way about, a little bit more strongly in the way that like he is here because okay, this feels like you're late. She is here because she could be higher, but I feel like there was missed potential. I really like the idea that she is the warlock giving um spells out to the patrons. I do like that a lot. And her whole story with her court being basically destroyed or undone and she's the only one left was intriguing, but it didn't feel like we got like a huge resolution to that. Now Rue was honestly, I feel like Rue was the heart of that season. She like she was the main character. If we would turn this into any kind of book, any kind of series, like movie or something, I feel like we would follow her the most, and it would be basically the story about this happening, but more about her, her as a character, her as a being. And I love her so much. Like my heart goes out to her, and like her truly showing herself. I like that. I like that a lot. Now, I think it's Major Hop. I'm not quite sure. He Brandon played him, and he was like a fun character, and also played or tried to play this political game just as Ru did. Basically, I didn't go into that, but those two were the most efficient trying to play this game, from a like a political standpoint, let's say, and I did enjoy that a lot. And I do like that they basically end up together. However, she is of course the queen, and so she will be higher than him. He will just be he's there to support her, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, but I do enjoy him a lot, and his interaction with his own court, like with the goblin court, I feel like it was so funny, so unhinged. Now, I mean, the cousins, our cousins, they do only deserve Blimey. So funny, like as a duo, as a pair, perfect. Like separate as well, but especially like when I said like um Daisy Dumpster is the funniest, is like the best character in all Dimension history, Dimension 20 history for me. That is true, but when we compare her against the pair of the cousins, I feel like maybe the cousins are even funnier or like edger out, because the interactions are just so hilarious. And the whole thing with I'm pregnant, or like I know I'm married, and we had a child. Like this is so, that scene is legendary. I honestly watch that maybe once a week, all every other week. I get it served on TikTok or whatever, and I always let it play. It's always I'm always graced when it hits my timeline. And yeah, there's so much I could talk about these two, like the grandfather, and they're also trying these political games, but they're not as good at it, but are like the ones that bring fun to this whole occasion, and it is, they are amazing. Okay, now we come to the Ring War. I don't know, I never knew or understood how to say that word out loud, so the food war. Let's just call it that. Now, I remember the queen well. Like, she was really up there doing things, trying to do things, trying to get out of things. Um, I mean, none of these characters have, like, how do I say that? We're lucky, let's say. They all have their burden to bear, but I feel like she really, from the get-go, I felt like she's in the most troublesome position because she's so in the eye of the public, basically, more than any of the other characters, I would say. And then, of course, finding out about her child and why she does the things that she does. And she never, she always knew what was expected of her and what she needed to do, but she never was joyful about it or gleeful. Like, she did the bad things as well, but was always like, let's get this done, let's do this and get out of here. And I do enjoy her. Now, our little, let's say, rotten companion, spoilers, but I mean, all of this is spoilers. But I feel like she had some rot going on. I did not really connect with her. I actually felt in a way that she kinda was a little bit too bossy and a little bit too mean, and like she expected things, especially from the queen, and she didn't get it, and then was kind of like an asshole. And I was just kind of like, yeah, I mean, that's why you should have a plan B or C or D, and not just basically put everything on one person. Not really that like I'm not gonna say super bad or anything, so I'm gonna put her here in Jeff Manhattan. Now our Reddish. I'm gonna say I did not like the Reddish is like a character that I do not enjoy, but I do like I will put him here next to the Queen in I Thought I Was Invisible. He was funny, he did say the right thing, super smart, but again, he is the kind of character, for me at least, that I love to hate. I'm just like, ooh, you little trying to be so smarter than everybody. Just you're not as smart as you think you are, buddy. And I feel like he excuse me, I feel like he realized that at the end as well. Now, the next one is the meat character played by Lou, and I'm gonna be honest, I will also put him here in the middle of the road. It's not that he was bad or anything, but I did not really connect with him, and I also, with just like with other characters here, I don't fully remember his whole deal that was going on. I mean, come on, Provolone, he is I did not expect that. And I feel like in the first, like maybe 1 or 2 episodes, he's kind of like, okay, what is your deal? Or like, what's going on? And then at some point, it's not even, it honestly is Zack and Brennan's back and forth that make these characters work that well. Dungeons and Drag Queens. And I'm just going to put them all up here in Blimey because it is my favorite. It is my favorite. Like Dungeons and Drag Queens is so great. It is my comfort show. It truly just have it on when I have a bad day. It brings me so much joy, and the characters are stellar. I actually thinking about doing a little own video about just Dungeons and Drag Queens because it is amazing. And yeah, no, we have Troyenne, her whole thing with her mom and her dad. Even though she tried to reconnect with her mom, and everybody was like, no, and yeah, no, girl. But her cool moves and everything. Then, of course, Princess with her deep voice, and just having a little infection that was the cause of all that. Her family is sweet, even though they're like money people, like, but they come around towards the end, of course. And Gertrude and Twyla. Those two, like Gertrude and Bob as a player, like describes everything so in detail and so magically. It is like really fascinating. And Twyla just being a loose cannon. Like that is the best way to describe her. Like she is, and the way that she plays, or like that Jujubee plays with Brennan, that is so. It is beyond. It is beyond. It is great. I love it. Okay, now we come to not Brainstorm. That was the joke that they made in the beginning of the season, because it was raining inside the mind, and it is Metropolis. I feel like is it how you say it, right? Yes, and I love that is a concept again that I do like the inside the mind, the inside out kind of thing going on. I do enjoy it a lot. And I do remember their names because they're like based on emotions. So yeah, we have Curiosity, Curio, Hunch Curio. I do really find him funny that he's not really good at it, but he gets the job done basically. Um yeah, let's put him here though, in the middle. Yeah. Then you have Amanda Pools, who I'm gonna say does not that much in the series, but when she acts, it is brilliant. Basically her flashing her boobs and also just punching in the key just because she felt like it. It is great. But it is also I'm gonna put her in the middle because like these characters in particular, I just realized they don't necessarily all have like a huge backstory kind of going on because they're just like all one person when it comes down to it, which is totally fine. They're just like basically one thing to the extreme, and that is Yeah, that's how it is, and that is fine. Now I'm gonna say, however, Mr. Fox over here. I don't know. For me, maybe I'm a prude, but it is a fun joke. But it was kind of like, okay, after some episodes, it's we get the joke, and yeah, I felt him not so. I feel like there was supposed to be this connection that he and Conrad have, but I did not feel that. I did not really feel that. So and I felt like this was kind of from him, from this character put on Conrad. Um, like he was like, we are buddies now, and Conrad was just like, okay, I guess we are because you're saying it, but I'm not feeling that way. And he feels like the kind of dude who will be like, yeah, you're my best friend today, and I will like basically kick you out tomorrow. That's kind of the vibe that I get from him. So I'm not a big fan of him, honestly. Now, a tension, of course, is really she's great. She becomes I thought it was invisible. I like her a lot. I love the way that she fights with her head, where she just always has a head ready to throw at somebody. And I just also like the actress playing her. She really has like what's it called, calm and really logical way of thinking, and I just like the way that she does that. Yeah, and she has, again, she has a little bit of backstory actually connected to Amanda Pulse intention, but oh no, attention, sorry. But Amanda is just kind of like, yeah, whatever, and it is more about her, about attention, and not about Miss Pulse. So I feel like that gives her an extra boost. Now the fix, I'm minimum he's a hero, I would say. Now the thing is, I do like his way of interacting with the world and the way that, of course, he drops like these knowledge nuggets, but they're like really threatening, like basically telling you how many bones you have in your body and that the most bones are in your hands. So if I want to break half of your bones, I just need to break your hands, and that is kind of like, oh. But other than that, he's a good kinded guy, a good hearted guy, but I don't feel like, no, he's good there. Chef Manhattan. Yeah, yeah. Now Conrad. Yeah, no, he goes into blimey. I love Conrad. He is just such a little, I mean, unsure kid, I know, but I just really truly like how he, especially with friendship and his dog, right? That's called friendship. Um, I just love how he interacts with him, how he interacts with anybody ever, not being self-sure at all, and everybody's just kind of like, you need to, I don't know, I need to wrap you up in a blanket and take care of you. This is not going well for you, boy. And yeah, I just like him. I like him a lot. And he does the right thing, like that's what it comes down to. He wants to do the right thing and has like the interactions with fight and flight and all the others. And yeah, that's really I like him a lot. And I feel like he is like the, just much as I said before, like Rue, like that she would be in Court of Faye and Flowers or whatever, and be the main character of a story. I feel like Conrad would be the main character of this. Okay, now we come to the Stoats. I now can I tell them apart? I can tell some of them apart. Like for example, this of course is our grandma, and I'm gonna put her in the middle because it she was always thinking about the old times, and I feel like this was supposed to be kind of like a story of like how the old people can change, and can also evolve, but at the same time you have to respect them and learn from what they have to say. But I just never felt that truly, like if it felt like an attempt on that. I don't feel like that this character really fulfilled that role, mainly because I don't know how crazy she was supposed to be. Crazy, I'm sorry, I don't think you should use that word anymore. But do you know, like I just feel like mentally sometimes she was there and sometimes she wasn't, and I just would have like the clarification on um is she doing some things on purpose or not? Like that was my main problem with her. I could never tell what is on purpose and what is just basically you being old. And I would have liked to see more of a division there. Now I'm gonna be honest. The next two I cannot tell apart with the pictures, but I'm gonna put them in the same place, which is next to the grandmother. The kids were fine. They were fighting each other. We had like these whole interactions with the other kids that was like really funny. Like there was like one kid that was like snotty or something, and yeah. But I put these two like in a group, just like I put the cousins in a group. But the cousins are just so much like you cannot compare the cousins and the brothers here. I mean, you can compare them, but this is what happens, in my opinion. They're not bad at all, but they're just the kids, and I didn't feel like so connected to them. I'm gonna be honest. I almost want to put him in the Butt Crushers, but I won't. I will put him here. We need to honor him, like the dad, and that he is the brothers. I think they're brothers. Yes. No, and but he's not the dad. No, he's together with the other one. Yeah, and with Gwen and sister basically. He is down there because I feel like this is maybe harsh, but again, if we would take him out of the story, would that much change? I don't think so. And he never struck me as like I feel like he was supposed to be more of a leader kind of character. Yeah, no, he definitely was supposed to be a leader because they also had other stoats with them, like NPC stoats, and they were supposed to follow him. But I didn't feel him. Like I was kind of like always, truly he as the leader. Let the wife do it. Like I don't know. Almost the same problem with as the brothers. I cannot really tell who is who here. However, I can in good conscience put them both in the same tier because I do like them a lot. Like those two were the carrying characters for me in that show. I like how they interacted with one another. Like their mom, they needed to basically take care of the older generation, they needed to take care of the younger generation, and they needed to take care of what is happening right now around us. And I feel like they did great. Yeah, I do enjoy those two a lot. And I also like the interactions between those because there was also one interaction where they talk about another stoat and then one of them goes like, and yeah, they're talking really nicely, and it's kind of yeah, but bless her heart, like that's the kind of person that we talk about, and it's such a like I feel like it's a southern thing in America to be like that. Okay, now we come already to the next one, which is don't stop blowing up, never stop blowing up. Yes, I feel like that's right. Okay, first of all, we have the character played by Jacob Wasaki, with the alien connection, and who was basically the James Bond of it all. I was not really connecting with him. The longer it went on, I enjoyed it more and more. And of course, the ending with him was really interesting. I don't feel like we needed that ending, but that we got it was kind of like just like the cherry on top. It could have been like, no, we don't need to see the aliens being real, but to see it is of course fabulous. And I like the interaction that he has like with the night wolf, like the radio station. I do enjoy it a lot. Yeah, and him walking away from his problems, but then of course returning. Yeah, no, he goes into I thought I was invisible. I did enjoy him a lot. Now the next one is Liv, I feel like was the character's name, maybe. But yeah, she's Kingpin, and she is basically just a teenage girl figuring herself out, which is fine, but to me there was not way more to it. There were of course funny moments, like basically every time she cracked some skulls up. Yeah, but other than that, it's definitely not bad. But I'm not connected in any fully real way, which is fine. Oh, now we have Jeff Manhattan, and of course you would think that I would put Jeff Manhattan into Jeff Manhattan, but I won't. This goes into Blimey. Yes, one of the funniest characters ever. Like being like, who is Jeff? By the way, for people who don't know, his name is not Jeff Manhattan. It is um, Jack Manhattan. But of course, easy. But also, it the character that she was playing, of course, would not get this right and would be like Jeff Manhattan always. You know, like would always say her own name wrong and would be like, "We are at the beach. I don't know where." Blah, and just being fully in chaos, having a gun, not knowing how to use it truly, but then just having fun shooting. You know, it is so much chaos, and of course the whole divorce thing going on in the background, and that she gets divorced in real life, and then it is it's not a game but in this videotape as well. It is so funny. It is so funny, y'all. Then we have Ellie's character, which I'm gonna be honest, like in the real world, highly interesting, fascinating character, love him a lot, but then as in the videotape world, kind of loses a lot of his charm in a way. I personally felt like, and yeah, no, we're mostly in there, so I'm also gonna put him here. Like, if we had played basically the real life version of him, then I feel like he would be way higher. But somehow in the videotape land, like in yeah, no, the movie is called Never Stop Blowing Up. It kind of I don't know, it kind of gets something lost there, but he does have a good backstory, or like interesting, like that he feels alone and chases after meaningless relationships. The oldest woman alive also comes into Blimey. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I literally almost pissed my pants when she was like throwing the t-shirt, this oil-covered slick t-shirt, in front, trying to throw it in front of the car. So it's basically banana peel for Mario Kart. That was what she was trying to do, and it failed. Of course, it failed, and it was so funny. Reika does a great job with her. The playing around, or playing, but the not be able to use any technology is so funny, and her being like having a dial phone and being like, oh, this modern technology, this the funniest. It is the funniest. I love it. And now we go to I feel like his maybe was named Wenzel, I don't know, the Fast and Furious kind of person. Honestly, I put him the same as Liv. There's not a lot to talk about there. Like, he has brothers, he wants to be respected by them, and he wants to, well, become a man, but not like in a sexual way. But he just wants to grow up and be recognized by his family. Okay, now we come to the last four from Titan Takedown. Yeah, the first one is Kronos, I feel like, or like the son of Kronos. Where do we put you? I have Titan Takedown is the one that I have only seen once. Yeah, like, I did not really feel invested like it. His father was like taken. I think his father was Kronos. Was like taken down by Zeus and everything, and there was like this point in the story where it looked like he betrayed us, but he didn't really, and that was kind of, I mean, weak is. I just didn't see it that way. I was just kind of like, okay. Now, however, our Minotaur I did enjoy a lot. Like, she goes into, I thought I was invisible. I don't know, like she, the girl that played her as well, the woman, and excuse me, she was like kind of also not fully grasping the game, but she had like a lot of fun with it and enjoyed it a lot, and was like really shocked when things happened. Like, she was the perfect audience. I liked it. I liked it a lot. And I did like her story of like her jumping in and taking on a curse that was meant for her brother, I feel like, or her cousin. I'm not sure, or her mother and father. Think it was, yes. But that was like really sweet. Now we have our cat lady. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, middle of the road, and I'm gonna say the same for the next one. These two are, again, I mean, he was beautiful and now he isn't. That is like a funny joke, a funny bit, but I didn't really connect with. I mean, he had like his whole family there and everything, and I was kind of like, I would kind of want to see more of that, you know, in your personal life. I didn't get the feeling how he's acting when he's not, like when he is at home, you know. if that makes sense. And she maybe, how do I want? No, you know what? I'm gonna put her higher. I did enjoy her a lot, and I'm literally her cattiness. She brought a lot to the table on that department, and had like a cat in the back, which was like a fun surprise. And yeah, no, I do like her. Now we can go over this list. We're at the end. But again, I don't really truly dislike any of these characters. The two that it ended up here on the bottom are just kind of like, those are the two where I'm just truly feel like, you? I don't want to say bring the mood down, that is maybe a little bit too extreme, but this is kind of like, okay. And I said before, there are one or two where I'm like, do you even want to be here? I'm not so sure about that. And this is kind of the feeling that I get with these two as well. But yeah, this is my list. I'm pretty happy with it. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments. Let me know what are your top 3 or top 5 favorite characters of all of the Dimension 20's playable characters. We will see us next time. Leave a like and a comment. Subscribe, it helps me out a lot. It helps other content creators out in general when you interact with the content, of course, because the algorithm and we are all dependent on that. So thank you and wish you a good day. Bye.